Oh my god. Okay, just I know this is a Pokemon Go video. I know this is a Pokemon Go video. Team Mystic all the way, by the way. But can we first please talk about the brand new trailer that just released for Pokemon Sun and Moon? Because, I mean, let me just throw these headphones on real quick. Okay, so certain Pokemon are thriving in the Alola region. Executor. Haven't seen him in a few years. What the hell is that? Look at that thing, it's ridiculous. I absolutely lost it the second that I saw that, and even now, it still is ridiculous, but this is the one that I was super stoked about. Pause, hold on a minute. We have got an Alola version of Vulpix and Ninetales. We all wanted, like, Fire Fairy. We didn't get that. Instead, we got this wonderful, snowy, cotton candy ice version of Vulpix, which I just lost my mind at, but how majestic does the Ninetales look? It's got an ability called Snow Cloak. Look at this thing. It's so cute. It's got little blue eyes. Frost things over. Oh, god damn. It's so cool. Although, admittedly, I think this is probably the coolest one of the lot of them. Sandshrew and Sandslash. I mean, the dude looks like an igloo. He looks so cool. He looks amazing. And then you got Sandslash, who literally just looks like the thing that could probably bring down the Titanic. I just want to pause here. Is there anything else new in the screen that I haven't noticed yet? Like, I'm wondering if there's like another Alola Pokemon teased in there. Look down there. So at the very bottom of the Executor, there's actually a fourth face. I thought there was, but you just couldn't see it from the angle to begin with. And then, of course, you got these dudes, what are they called? An Olicolio. Oh yes, I like to dance. I'm very cool. Pom-pom style. Oh, look at that. We've even got the cheerleader. It's so good. And then we got this weird thing here called a Minior. It's weird. It's like an everlasting gobstopper from Willy Wonka, and they've got different flavors on the inside. I don't get it. Oh, God, no. Donald Trump has his president form now. Gumshoe is when he's put the wall up and when he's declared war on every other country on Earth. Oh, look at the little donkey. Tonight, I'm making waffles. All right, now, even I've got to admit that this thing here looks really, really freaking cool. So you can basically, like, ride Pokemon now, whether it be on land, water, you can fly on a freaking Charizard. Are you serious? And this is my other favorite thing as well, is the fact that they've gone, you know what? We've given up with trying to make Mega Evolutions. Let's just have one ability per type of Pokemon. As long as you do this... Is that a Z? Yeah, as long as you do that, then you can do a Gigavolt Havoc. Basically, it's a Mega Evolution move, but for every type of Pokemon. And this even talks of there, like, being like a wrist bracelet thing as well that, like, vibrates and lights up whenever you do one of these Z moves. It makes me feel like a Christmas Sentai Ranger all over again. Or Sailor Moon. Well, anyway, that's it. I just wanted to check that out. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be asking me my opinions of this over the next few days on social media, so I thought I would just get it out of the way first. Now, let's talk about some Pokemon Go news. So here it is then. It's the first major update to Pokemon Go since the game released. It's version 0.31.0. I don't quite understand the numbering system, but let's make our way through the app. I'm hopefully going to cover every single thing that you need to know about in this new update, starting with this. You now get a warning message whenever you load up the game. It will range from don't play Pokemon Go whilst you're driving, don't go to dark places alone, like don't litter, all those different kinds of things. So let's start off on the world map. This is where we're going to be looking for Pokemon. We're going to be trying to track them down, but that's now become really, really difficult because if I click on nearby Pokemon, we're now met with nothing. There's no footsteps, there's no yards, there's no meters, nothing to tell you how close you are to a Pokemon. All we have is that the Zubat is closest and the Drowsy is furthest away. That's all the information we get now. So rather than fixing the 3-step bug, and there's been a lot of people on the subreddit going, hey, if you just implement this tiny bit of code, that's on the client side. So you don't have to change the servers, just change a little something in the app itself, it would fix everything. But apparently Niantic don't want to do that. And then on top of that, they've also changed the API enough so that websites like PokeVision, where you could go on a Google Maps looking thing, you drop a little pin, and it would show you all the Pokemon that are in the surrounding area, and also like a countdown timer of how long they're going to be there for. Those have also now been rendered useless. So suffice to say, I'm pretty annoyed about that. But anyway, let's move on to the trainer profile page. So this is looking pretty much the same as before to begin with, but a little difference is that all of these medal icons for the various different achievements in the game, they've all been updated. So we've now got a new egg for Breeder, the Jogger has a nice running shoe, Kanto has this weird ring Pokedex looking thing. All of these icons have been updated for the most part. And something else you might have noticed is that there's a brand new button in the bottom right corner. So if you click on that, that is actually now where where the journal lives. So the journal looks exactly as it did before. You'll be very familiar with that if you've used it. And the other cool thing is now you can customize your character, so you can change them to match your team colors or just to fit the mood at any time you'd like to. And it's not just your character clothes either. You can also swap between the two genders at will, which is brilliant. And then of course, once you're done, you press the tick, it saves it, everything's groovy. And if that wasn't hard enough already, they've now also dropped the scanning, so that circle area around you, they've dropped its radius from 100 meters down to 70. Why? So next up, we're in the settings menu. Now for me, I still have this button available to me. The battery saver mode still exists as an option inside of my menu, but there are some people that are on iOS and various different versions of Android that have reported that the button is basically gone, but they apparently turned their phone upside down and it still works in the same way that it did last time. So maybe they've just decided to have it on as default. Moving on to the Pokemon page, and there's a couple of differences you're going to notice straight away. A lot of the spacing between the Pokemon has gotten a lot nicer. They've gone for a much bolder and more unique font as well, which is quite nice. And this poor Pokemon, poor Vaporeon, it was one of the most overpowered Pokemon in the entire game. They've gone and nerfed Vaporeon. So the statistics are, its Aqua Tail ability has been dropped by 10%. That was having a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. Although in exchange for that, the Hydro Pump ability has been boosted by 50%. And they've made various different tweaks to other Pokemon as well, but none of them are quite as standout as this one. So that means if you've been pouring Stardust and Eevee Candy into a Vaporeon, it's kind of led to nothing. And if we scroll down to the bottom of a Pokemon's page as well, you'll notice that it now ends at the date. It no longer tries to show you the map of where you actually found the Pokemon and grabbed it. I think that's because if they do implement a trading system, they don't want people to know where it came from, because obviously that could just get all kinds of messy and stalkery. And something else you'll notice that's missing from the bottom of the page is the transfer button. Now worry not, this is still here. All you got to do is press the little options menu in the bottom corner, and there you've got favorite and transfer, which now means you can literally press a Pokemon, press menu, press transfer, confirm, candy, which was a lot easier than having to like click and scroll, and then like if it doesn't react to that scroll, you got to do it a second time. And I know a few of you are going to worry about the favorite and the transfer button being so close together, but worry not. If you actually favorite a Pokemon and then you go to transfer it, you'll notice that it comes up and says you cannot transfer a favorited Pokemon, which for me is a tiny little bit annoying, because basically when I save up all of my evolutions and I pop a lucky egg to do nothing but evolve Pokemon for half an hour, favoriting my Pokemon was the only way of having them in like a separate bracket. Maybe if they introduce boxes or something at a later date, that might be a way around that, but for me, it's a small inconvenience. So we move over to the egg screen. Now, when you press on the little egg menu option in the bottom right corner, this menu just looks generally nicer now. I just think the spacing on it is a lot clearer, everything's a bit more concise, and when you actually click on an egg as well, if you go to start incubation and you have your list of incubators there, there's now a shop button in the bottom right corner, just little things to speed up the process. So let's talk about catching Pokemon. This has gotten a little bit different. The first thing you're going to notice is that the backdrop is now a little bit different, and what I really like about this is that I think it's a large like spherical image that they've got, and they now just change the axis every encounter, so the backdrop is always going to look a little bit different, which is a really nice touch. And something really crazy, remember before when you had to really like spin a ball to get it to curve? Look how steep that curve is now. If I literally just do the smallest little thing, look how heavy the curve is. Like, the curve is now insane. Now, something important to point out about the nice, great, and excellent throws is they apparently don't award any bonus XP anymore. I imagine they still help you catch a Pokemon a lot easier, but they don't give you an extra 50, 100, however much experience. The only thing you get that from now is from throwing curveballs, which again, still only gives you 10 XP. Oh, and that's how you catch a Ghastly. How close am I to getting my 100 candy for Gengar? 77. That's actually pretty damn good. And then the final bit of information about Pokemon Go, which doesn't really pertain to this update. It happened a little earlier prior to it, but they've now actually changed some of the spawning mechanics of certain Pokemon. So if you found a Pokemon nest, which on the maps you would have noticed are these areas that are very populated by one Pokemon. So if you've seen my video where I went to Bath, we found a Pokemon nest, which was loads of Lickitung in Victoria Park. I imagine now if I were to go back there, it's now going to be a different Pokemon that populates that park. So that's a perfect reason to head on outside, go and catch some brand new Pokemon that you've never caught before in your area, and let me know in the comment section below if you happen to find anything new. As well as that, if I've missed anything regarding the update, then do let me know as well. I want us all to be as informed and clued up as possible, and keep an eye out later on this week for my very first video of the Pokédex Entry Challenge. You'll find out exactly what that is when I go head to head with somebody from the office as we run around Bristol looking for Pokemon. Now if you don't mind, I'm trying to catch this Nidoran, big old curveball. No, he animated! Oh no, and he animated again! What is wrong with you, Nidoran? Why are you so hyperactive? That's the third time! Come on! There you go. I got a nice throw. Okay, hold on. Let's confirm the rumors. 1 roll. 2 rolls. 3 rolls. That's mine. That's mine. Okay. Do I get anything for nice? Can we confirm this right now? Nidoran Mail. Yeah, just 10 XP for the curveball. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.